G'day everyone. Proud to say Barkarati is brought to you by Radix Nutrition, makers of the most technically comprehensive nutrition products that have ever existed. Unlock your potential with Radix. G'day listeners. Welcome to Barkarati the Sailing Podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to talk to some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the mic with my two idiot mates. So first off, let's welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
How are you, bro?
I'm well. Running around. It is like launching a NASA shuttle, isn't it? Getting together, all of us around the world at this ungodly hour.
It is. It is a challenge, but it's and holding down proper jobs. One day we'll be independently wealthy and good. So,
well, we may have some news coming. We may be going professional.
Did we win the lotto?
So
let's see what the other bloke
retire from your government job, and we could be going pro.
Okay, cool, mate. Hang on, let's see what the other bloke's doing.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
He's not there. He currently is docking a super yacht. Last we checked, so he is joining the show, but he's currently docking a super yacht. So he'll come in hot, is all I'll say. So Nick Bice,
I just love it. I just can hear him coming down the dock.
The Doppler effect. But anyway, so obviously Bicey's got plenty on his program, and he's in the doing the St. Bath bucket, I assume. So
he's on the Galatea, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's just a little yacht that he hangs out on.
Yeah. Anyway, this episode is one I've been angling for years. I've been harassing you blokes for years that we should be doing this.
I knew you'd like it.
I'm very fired up.
Onto it.
I'm very fired up. This episode, we're actually going to talk about cruising. I know. Who'd have thought?
That's great, isn't it?
We all love it. Let's be honest. Like our guest this week is a lifelong sailor, mad for the sport, been involved in the racing scene, the whole thing. Pretty certain you had a TP in his past life, but now he's been. I think he must be getting dizzy. He's been sailing around the world. These West Australians, they don't stop on one lap, do they? The West Aussies, they sort of keep going. Like it's like Sanders' thing, you know.
Well, they kind of miss Western Australia, and then they end up on another lap.
Yeah, they don't know how to go back the other way.
Can't go back upwind. Got to keep going.
So our guest, as I said, lifelong sailor, principal in, I guess. The Bailey's Marine Group, chairman of the Bailey's Marine Group, so been involved in marine transportation, tourism, port infrastructure, port services around Australia. So it's a pretty serious job, and he's made the decision about a year and a half ago to buy a boat and cruise around the world and do the whole thing. And so from the perspective we can talk all sorts of different levels, we thought, this guy's the perfect guy to chat to. Got a very nice little boat he's sitting on at the moment. He doesn't look like he's suffering, so congratulations on that. That's one thing. But yeah, welcome to Barkarati, Scott Bailey. How are you, mate?
Oh, mate, I am absolutely sensational. Very, very, very thankful and grateful to be on board this show. As I said to Bicey, I feel like a bit of a fraud. Because all of your guys, people aboard, are just amazing sailors, and I've got to say, for the last 2 or 3 years, been going around the world listening to these just fantastic stories.
Yeah,
and it was very, very, very nice to be part of a bit of what we're doing, which is a bit different.
Yeah,
well, Scott, we've been following you now for the best part of the last year, because we did have some comms. This time, January last year, where I was going to go over and do. It all started from when I was going to go over and steal your board out of your shed and do the Wally windsurfing worlds. And it sort of worked out from there. We worked out who you were, and communications sort of grew from there. And it was always on our radar to get you on the show during or sometime during the trip. But we find it's at the end of the trip, which is a complete lap. So I don't know, Jordan, where do you want to start with this one?
Well, I mean, there's so much I'm interested in, like, so obviously, what was the goal? Like, to go cruising and doing this, like, we all dream of it, right? We all absolutely dream of it. How long have you been dreaming of doing this, mate?
I think so, like after the America's Cup, when I was like a young tacker, I jumped on a Swan 65 and sailed across to Sydney on that after the America's Cup.
87?
Yeah, 87. And sailed across to Sydney, and things didn't turn out. I was going to go sailing as my career, but then, things at home didn't go so well, so I had to shoot back home and sort things out. Anyway, sort of like, I had some great fun sailing, and but it always was sitting in the back of the mind. I'd love to do some long offshore cruising, and this is my first cruising boat, so it's been fantastic. And I suppose the thing with the whole doing this thing, you've got to have your partner along board, and I've got Felicity Flick. She's just an absolute ripper. So super. Yeah, super happy. I mean, like, she hasn't done that much sailing, but we've been boating all our lives, and it's just been a great journey. Good start off.
So awesome!
It is a pretty
what
cool
a story. Where do we start, Jay? So
let's
get this going.
Let's talk about, like, started sailing at 6. So tell us about your pathway into sailing.
Oh God! Got ripped off the cricket pitch. So my dad used to go fishing over at Right Nest Island every couple of weeks, and I used to go every second week. Me and my sister used to go across with him, and I jumped into this cricket team, and it was a windy day, so he came back down. It was like he couldn't get out of the heads, so he came back down. Where's Scott? Rightio, okay, let's grab him. Oh, he's playing cricket. Oh, he's not playing cricket. He's a sailor. So I'm like 6 or 7, and then grabs me, takes me to Royal Perth Yacht Club, put a life jacket on, swim mandatory like 20 metres to the beach as my safety check, and then hop into a Pelican and then sail down the river, point it right, it goes left, point it left, it goes right, go down the front and put myself in irons first off. And got towed home.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to sailing.
That's how it works.
Yeah, pretty much so.
And that.
So, from there, it's grown and grown. I mean, like, it's just such an amazing sport.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. So it was always racing for you up until, because as you said, your first cruising boat, but you've been involved since you were 6. Like, you've been doing sailing, been competing. I mean, what's been your favourite adventures in the racing world?
Oh, love the racing world. Well, we had this, sort of went through Pelicans, JDs, Cherubs, JDs, 14s. Had a race on an 18 on the river one time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then I hopped into, Solings and Etchells and what are they called? Anyway. Go through there, all the different classes while still doing a bit of offshore.
Yeah.
So, do a bit of offshore, FAR 37s, FAR 40s, IOR stuff. IOR stuff back in the day was like great fun in Perth.
Yeah.
We had 6 40-foot IOR boats. Everybody wanted to have a crack. True Blue was going for the Admiral's Cup trials, Prime Factor, Slippery and those guys. It was just, it was a lot of fun, it was great camaraderie. I think that's the thing that you get out of sailing is that, you go hard and then you go and pull the whole thing down and literally do the whole fucking bar karate thing.
Exactly right. I mean, as a kid, right, growing up on Swan River, like going sailing on Swan River, it's an education that very few get, and particularly doing the little, like the Cherubs and the 14s and all the skiff boats that you were jumping onto, like because the Swan, she gets windy and it gets quite steep and short, that little chop. And so it's plenty of opportunity to put it in the piss in Western Australia. Like you learn pretty quick how to sail in wind.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, don't worry, we put it in the piss plenty of times. So like around the front of the forestay, sort of. Oh, you guys know
Yes,
how the sailing
yes.
goes.
Been there, done that. Been there, done that.
Yeah,
Lots of fun.
exactly. Oh no, we sold these Magic 25s on the Swan River, and
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
when it gets up, it's sort of like 25, 30. I mean, like you got two on the wire, and it starts getting a bit sporty, but it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's good yachting.
Yeah. Well,
Good yachting. I mean, you only need 3 or 4 out there to make a race.
yeah. Well,
True.
you like the thing that you talk about, that camaraderie, is, you're right. That's what I reckon. That's what brings everyone together. Like you've got all these mates, and the other thing that sailing gives you is that lifelong connection to people. And it does. If you get to a decent level, you get to travel the world, and you suddenly got friends all over the world. And I think Pete Nichols and Painey sailed with you on the TP, I think, at one stage, and now they're doing the pro thing, and so you've got mates, spread around the globe and things like that.
Well, they came along. So I met Pete and Pino. We were sailing this class. I'm not sure whether you guys know it, 505s.
No, what are they?
Yeah.
But we're up in Warnemünde in Germany for the 50th Worlds, and so we get $300 from our yacht club to $300 if you go and do if you get high enough in the States or States Nationals, and you get like a little bit of money. So we all chucked our money, gave it to them, and they can go off and give them a boat. They can go and sail, but they can stay in the container. I mean, you go to the container in the morning, and geez, I mean, like the smell of beer and other bodily fluids were we're quite strong. But they're good men. They're very, very good men.
Yeah, absolutely, good guys. And that living in the container thing. Oh dear, that's a hard course. But I think it was Pete Chappell, because he'd be someone you know really well. Pete Chappell boat, I assume, from.
Yeah. No, Pete, I sail with Pete a lot of time, and it's Bakewell White 9.6 little carbon fibre thing that's been like an enormous amount of fun. So it's like a Cape 31, but geez, I mean, like it just absolutely rips.
Yeah,
so much fun. So with him and Skippy, and a couple of other blokes that have known how to sail over the years.
Just going to say, it's interesting, like the media is very East Coast centric. Sydney gets most of the media, but boy, there's some good sailors in Western Australia. There are some bloody good sailors over there. We just named a few, and I was going, very hard to beat some of those boys.
No, there's some, it's very, very difficult. I mean, like the whole, doing the actual thing. I mean, like, I know BP. I mean, like you sail actuals. I mean, like, we've got, I got AC sailors, 50. I mean, like, everybody's done a bit over their lives, and you get out on the course, and it's always good fun. Bit of.
Of course, the worlds, the Etchells Worlds there last year as well. So everyone knows everyone. But that's sailing, as we say. So it's a pathway, and that pathway you've had is led us to here. Led us to a lap around the world. Obviously, business successful. You've worked hard. You've done everything. You've achieved what you've wanted to achieve there, hopefully, and you've gone and bought yourself an oyster.
Yeah,
as I can see on your shirt there.
Exactly. Well, it's the first time I've worn this shirt, so I thought, like, what shirt am I going to wear? So I thought, like, I better give them a plug. I mean, they've been pretty good to me, so got to give them a plug. I mean, the oyster. And so when you go through this process of going like, right, okay, we want to do a lap of the world. How do you want to do it, and where do you want to go around? So, we did the, traditional route, go to Cairn Boat Show, have a look around, sort of see things. And I was, I don't know, it was like 10 years ago. I was
just about to ask you, when did all this sort of start coming into play? So 10 years. It's a long plan, isn't it? It's not something you just go and do. It's not something you just do. You've got to think about it.
Well, exactly. Well, I mean, you've got to think about it. But I was reading this whole thing, Sailing West, right? And I'm going like sailing west. And I'm like, I'm sort of like racing background. I'm going to let you sail east. I mean, that's how you go around the world. But sailing west and listening to this guy do this whole sailing west thing on the first Oyster Rally and go like, well, fuck, this sounds pretty good. Well, photo, mate. This sounds pretty good.
That's right.
So after about
just get the time there, Jay. We'll just beep that one out.
Shared it with Flick and started going like, hey, Flick, when we, when the kids get a bit older, this could be like a pretty cool thing to do. And so that's sort of where it started. And so and the boats were rock star.
Well, you were talking about going around the boat shows and looking at boats, and I can, like, let's be honest, the Oysters are a very, very nice boat. You've got a 595 there. They are. It would have been, once you stepped on board that, it'd be very hard to go anywhere else, I'd imagine, because they do present quite well.
Well, there wasn't one when we were going through. There wasn't one. This was future production, so I mean, like we were like whole nine. There wasn't one to see, but Flick did like the Swan 115 with Fabio as a skipper, but I wasn't too keen on that one.
Flavio.
I was like, no, Fabio.
Scott, did you like Flavio as well? I mean, it'd have to be a mutual agreement there, surely.
Well, it's a good bloke, but it's too much a good-looking rooster, Yeah.
Righto. So the 115 with Flavio is out of the question.
Yeah, totally. They had a look at all the catamarans and bits and pieces like that. Had a look at sort of like gunboats and fast boats, and I sort of thought, well, fast boats, I've got to bring sailing mates on because when they go fast, you got to react quickly. So you actually want something a little bit more cruisy.
Yep.
And also want something like comfortable because you're going to be on there for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And this is the platform. I mean, like it's they're just amazing machines, and they sail really well. So.
Yeah. So the question I have for you, though, like
I'm over the moon.
Your 60-foot boat, right? That.
Yeah.
Some of the sail handling stuff that's fairly sizable gear. So. Do you need a crew? Like, are you able to handle everything yourselves as a couple?
So we started off with my sister and brother-in-law.
Yep.
And so Glenn, absolute legend, and my sister, love her to death. But sort of coming through the whole thing, you can do the whole sail handling by yourself. So Bruce comes up. Even sails out, I mean, it's all sort of furling gear.
Yep.
I think the whole mast furling thing took me a long time to get my head around that one, but it is sensational for what we're doing.
Is it?
Because we're going around the world. We're not trying to beat everybody, but we're still setting a cracking pace. In mast furling, from the Seldom guys, I mean, like. They've got it sussed. I had a lunch with certain sailmaker from Parma and a certain sailmaker from Italy and another bloke, and they looked at me and they just
called certain.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm like, okay, and they just looked at me when I said I was going in mast furling, with like death, with absolute death, and I must say they've got a suss. It works. It's absolutely brilliant. And when you're sailing short-handed, and I'm like, we are sailing seriously short-handed, it's fantastic. It really works and makes the whole program easy. And that's sort of what I wanted is like an easy program. Flick hasn't done a huge amount of sailing, so just something simple to be able to, make the whole thing work. So it's all-inclusive and, it's been brilliant.
I did wonder with the in-mast furling, because I'm the same as you. Like if I was getting a cruising boat, my wife doesn't sail, so it'd be all on me. The in-mast furling, obviously, it's intuitive, like it just goes into the mast. You don't have to do too much. But I would have thought at anchor, you've got a lot of weight up in the sky, and the boat might rock a bit more.
Yeah. I don't sort of seem that big. I mean, this is a 35-ton boat by the time we put all of the wine on board.
So it's only 5-ton displacement.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, might hang in the back end a little bit too long. No, it's the rig weighs I don't know, like 800 kilos or something like that.
Right.
Your center of gravity goes up a little bit more, obviously, with it in there. But the benefits that it gives is just, I mean, like it's brilliant. Yeah. It is such a good system.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these systems. You look at these systems. They've been around a long time now, Jay. And I guess the only thing that, or the main thing with short-handed sailing, is maintenance, making sure everything's under control and looked after. That's probably something that would be high on the agenda, is the maintenance of the fueling system in the mast. But as long as that's all up to scratch, it's all tickety-boo. I mean, and it's being able to shorten sail and being able to basically de-rig the boat, on your own. That's the key.
Well, I was going to say it's more than that, because on your watch systems, obviously at night time, if say flicks on watch and a squall comes through, then you're not stressed that she's going to have to go up onto the bow or do anything. Like you can just furl everything straight up.
Yeah, you want to avoid going on the bow at all times. I mean, like it's we're here cruising and we're trying to make it easy for everybody.
Yeah.
So everything controls back in the end, and that works out well. But I mean, we're going through a transition from from Fiji to from Tahiti to Fiji, or Taha to Fiji. So full sail out, bits and pieces like that. No, there's going to be a big transition going on, and wander around, change everything to the other side, bits and pieces like that. Fill the whole thing up, right? Bang, over we go onto port. Start rolling everything out again. Away we go. We're supposed to be going into 14 knots. It was absolutely perfect. There was 14 knots, and then it turned into 30 knots.
Yep.
And but I was able to do that by myself.
Right.
I'm like, which bit don't you like about that?
No, it's safe.
100%. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely fantastic.
The other thing about the 595s, because I've spent, obviously, BP will make a joke, but I do a lot of research for these episodes. And with a 595, it's a centre cockpit. And, like being a cool kid, like I never would have looked at a centre cockpit. But then when you have a look at a centre cockpit, there's a few advantages that you don't think of, particularly for being in the middle of the ocean. One, your main sheet's behind you. You're not going to get clogged on the head. Two, that bloody accommodation you get at the back of your boat there turns into like some sort of luxury apartment. Wow. Do you get a good owner's cabin?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the owner cabin. It rocks. Absolutely rocks. Sort of walk around big bed, king, queen, something like that. It is sensational. You can have like a little bit of which is very good after busting a couple of ribs in Whakarava to, doing a long sail, having like a little chaise lounge on the side. Just kind of like, right, okay, I've got somewhere to keep out here.
Yeah.
That was the big thing, trying to work out. You're living on it for a couple of years. So, you got to work out something that it's got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
which leads to a really good point. Sorry, guys. We're a little bit of a delay here, but the point I wanted to really touch base on, we sort of talked about. You've chosen the boat. You've gone down the path of making the decision that you're going to do this, and I think there's a lot of people out there who would like to hear the ins and outs of how you plan it, what you put in place. There's lots of things to think about, destinations, insurances, all of those things that make a safe trip a viable trip, because a lot of people would sort of get intimidated by it.
Oh, listen, I certainly was intimidated by it to start off with. I was sort of going around, I don't know, it's going to be 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. I'm not sure. Let's see how this thing goes. And I mean, you learn along the way. I mean, if you're doing this program, I mean, you've got a bit of go about yourself. And the check-in, check-outs. Listen, predict wind and Starlink. Listen, I mean, between those two things, Starlink has just absolutely revolutionised the world of sailing or of cruising. I mean, it is just sensational. You've got 24/7 access. You can pull all your weather down. You can do all your routing, with predict wind and stuff like that. And it's pretty easy after there, as long as you've got like a decent set of skills and go like, right, okay, well, I just need to, work out what my polars are for my boat and do a bit of splicing and stuff like that. Have a whole bunch of Dyneema on board the boat just in case, because you're always going to need it. Yep. Something's always going to go wrong. Yep. And, away you go and just like work out how to knock something out pretty quickly. And then the problem's solved.
Yeah. But BP,
it's just...
Sorry, BP. I was just going to say BP's point is that to travel all the way around the world, it's a major exercise. But I think you did it as part of a rally as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we did. And I mean, it's a tried and true path. I mean, you sort of come out of, we joined, we did a 6 months in the Med just to try and work the boat out and work out what we needed to do. Made all the changes that we needed to the boat. Went down, joined the ARC, and go across to St. Lucia. Yep. By the time we got to St. Lucia, the boat's all sorted out. Go up to Antigua, all good. And then, sort ourselves out from there and away we go.
Yeah.
St. Lucia, go through there. Panama's a little bit difficult these days, but you can work that one out.
How did you find the Gulf? How did you find the Gulf of America?
Gulf of America.
Is it similar? Is it similar to the Gulf of Mexico?
Just a little more backwards.
I suppose there's a bit more blue. Yeah, it's a bit more blue in there and stars, So a bit more stars and a bit more blue.
I think there's more red in there.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of red in the Mexican flag. I'm not sure. That was a bit before we went through there, but no, it's all good. It's all good running through there. I'm sure it'll be way more efficient now that I don't know, large PE company runs it rather than the Chinese.
Yeah.
God knows how that's going to work, but anyway, all good fun.
If we just want to summarise, what we've discussed, then I mean the rally option for those listeners out there who are sort of umming and ahhing, a rally option seems to be A, safe, and B, you're with other people, but seems to be a good option.
Yeah, no, it is a good option, and I've got to say that the enjoyment that we've had. So we've got 22 boats on this rally, right? And the rally is like the boats go everywhere, but you end up at an anchorage every now and again, and we generally just get together for parties. Oyster bring along some technical guys to assist us in sorting out our boats because there's so many systems on these things. And we're learning how to do all of this. It is an absolute sensational program. I couldn't think of a better program, a long-term program of going around the world than this. The friends that we've made on this journey, being a rally, has been amazing. I mean, it's not for everybody. We bump into the ARC, which is a bit easier, a bit different program. But having that that friendship as you're going around the world is quite it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
You hop into an anchorage and there's like 2 or 3 other boats and instantly barbecue on my boat and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that. That's all me, and I'm pretty sure Jay would be into it too.
Well, more than that. Yeah. Obviously. The rally element is really, really strong. I mean, it's, as you said, the Oyster does one. There's the ARC one. There's the Outremer. What's the Outremer company that does all their brand of yachts? Yep. They're doing that. Bicey and I actually Spicy and I actually formed a company with Steph Van Zandt and Jack Lloyd, and we were built what's called World Yacht Rally, where we actually did all the routing, and we're going to take all the stuff that we provided for the Volvo Ocean Race and do that commercially. But that was just before COVID, so that sort of died. It's all still on. If you search World Yacht Rally on the internet, you'll still find it and beautiful photos of us. But I think half those rallies took all our routing work that we'd done, and they're using it now. But I think the rally, if you're nervous, like if you're trying to do it with a couple of people, or it's your first time circumnavigating the world, it provides that level of certainty. They do the security elements, they do a lot of the docking stuff, all the clearances, things like that, So, yeah. And the oysters.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that's, I'm not sure whether that's quite right with the Oyster Rally, because I don't know, just the camaraderie that you get.
Yep.
If you did it by yourself, we can go and do it we could go and do it by ourselves, and that was one of the things that we were firstly looking at. And then Flick, my beautiful bride, said, "Well, buy one of those. I'll do this with you." And you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, where do I sign the check?"
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And it didn't know anybody else who was going on it.
Yeah.
But just sort of thought, well, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be like-minded. Everybody's going to be pretty much in the same position in their life, sort of doing things, some better, some worse. It's not for everybody, but far out. We have met some, almost lifelong friend stuff.
Yeah.
That you meet up with, and that's the benefit of something like this, I suppose. But it is not for everybody, so take it with that.
You're back to that camaraderie point you made again, mate.
Yeah, man. It certainly is. That's probably the most special thing out of the rally is doing it with a bunch of people. It's a bit like yachting. I mean, you get into a class and you become sort of tribal, almost. Yep. And it's fantastic. It's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Right. Well, I like where that's gone, Jay. I like what we've done there. We've
looped back together.
Maybe,
We're at loop back into the same point. You like that?
Yes. And I think with listeners out there, it's there and available. So we get it. We've become an instructional podcast, and we're moving forward in the world of instruction.
Well, the irony of it all, BP, is that the conversations Scott's had with his wife Flick are identical to the conversations I'm having in my house with my wife. We'll get a boat, we'll go through the Mediterranean, we'll get you comfortable, I'll show you, and I show you all these places, and we'll visit these places, and then we've got to go around the world because a boat tied up at the docks, a boat that's wasting money, you've got to be sailing it the whole time, so let's go and sail around the world. And the routing's all there, we've done all that work, and you got internet now, we can be safe. But like the whole conversation that you've gone through, Scott, is exactly what happens in my house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the way it happens. I mean, you've got to go and do right, okay, what are we going to do? I mean, we had this beautiful time before the kids have kids and before the grandparents get too old, So, you have this little slice of life that you go like, right, okay, I can do that. And then you've just got to manage all the life stuff to be able to get hold of it, to be able to maximize that bit.
Yeah.
And, that was really the driving force around it, is to be able to go, right, okay, well, been doing lots of stuff, but need some time to enjoy. And I'm just quite amazed that, Flick still loves me after this whole thing. So,
yeah, that's the win.
There's nowhere to hide on board a boat, and every little thing that you have is out to show. So it's an amazing experience for you and your partner to be able to do.
How do you split the roles on the boat? So like say you're doing an ocean crossing, what's the conversation? How are you setting that up? So you're doing a watch system, who's doing what role?
Yeah. So we have so we generally say we're four on the boat. So when it's Glenn and Caro and me and Flick, we'd have Glenn's a solid sailor, I'm a solid sailor, and then Caro and Flick are so they're they're good at what they do, but we do offs, and then we do 2 on 6 off.
Mm-hmm.
So when it gets sporty, you stay up. Stay up for a bit longer, but I only get sporty for maybe 1 or 2 days on passage.
Yep.
But the rest of the time, it's all pretty good. So it works out. It honestly works out a treat. Just try
and you get into a rhythm. You get into a rhythm as well, and your body sort of. I've experienced this on many of my longer trips. If you want to stay up, your body just lets you stay up, and if you if you need to sleep, you'll get your sleep, and you get your own sort of time frame.
Yeah, so we've stayed at UTC since day one.
Yep.
So because we're predominantly going west all the time.
Yep.
So you just go like, right, okay, we just say UTC the whole time, and let the day move around you rather than move you to the day, and do this funny little.
You think you're ever going to be able to settle back into normal society?
Oh, it's pretty hard. Oh, it's pretty hard getting in normal society to start off with, but my first bit is this golf trip with my mates in Qashqai, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to be very kind to me.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing, like I'm sort of drilling into detail here, but like on your boat, when you're on watch, right? Are you on deck, or are you at the nav station? Are you at the wheel? How do you run it? And if I was off watch, I know I'd be sleeping on a pilot berth right next to where my wife would be. So if anything went wrong, she could grab me straight away, sort of thing. So,
well, it depends on the. This is the whole thing with Starlink. It's changed the whole perspective because you actually get the weather. It's an absolute game changer. You sort of got a pretty good understanding as to what the breeze comes through. So, if it's funky, if you got thunderstorms, thunderstorms are the most funky thing that you sort of have. So if there's thunderstorms, you might, you'll stay up and hang out. Now, that's the overlapping watch that you do.
Yep.
Try and make it easy. But literally, there's like maybe 1 or 2 of those in a passage. 10-day passage. So it's pretty easy to be able to do that. No, you don't need that much sleep. 2 on 6 off. You're only working 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
8 hours a day. I think we're all pretty good with that one.
8 hours spread over 24. 8 hours spread over 24. It's good for you. It's a good way to live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Once you get into the rhythm, and what you're sort of saying, Jordan. Like the rhythm of the whole. How the boat runs, and sort of when things happen and stuff like that. It's I don't know. It's just lovely. I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. After 2 years, I'm just enamored by the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure where I'm going to stop, but somebody else has got a decision on that one. So I'll leave that to you guys.
That was my point. That was my point, Scott. That once you experience it and touch your toe in it, into those experiences and into the people you meet, and it's where do you stop?
Yeah, no, that's the big thing. But anyway, like there's a bunch of great stuff to go along, and this whole rally is just. You got to pitch yourself doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It is so good. It's like at the end of, you toil away and you do something like this. It really is pinch yourself stuff as to how good it is. Like we had all of our kids come down to Cape Town. Had mates and their kids and stuff like that, and they all came to Cape Town. We got in there, and we just had 6 weeks, and we just had such a fat time down there. And it's amazing the places you go to.
Yeah.
And and bring in your friends to enjoy the ride as well. It's a cool thing to do. I can't say any more than that. It is a very, very cool thing to do.
It's
and so accessible.
Yeah, it's a nice little segue to where talking, because we've got to ask where your favourite locations are. You mentioned Cape Town. Coming into Cape Town, heading west, you're going through some pretty choppy water to get in there.
Yeah,
but So I'm interested. Tell us some of your favourite adventures and destinations.
Oh God! No, for coming into Cape Town. So so you come out of Durban. So there's 3-day window. 3-day or 5-day windows. 3-day, 5-day windows out of going from Durban to Cape Town, 800 miles. You got the Gaulis Current that goes down the coast. So you're smoking down the coast to Port Elizabeth. And, you got 4 or 5 knots of current if you go right hard against the 200 metre line.
Yeah.
And away you go. And then you come around the corner. And then, because of the Suez Canal thing, all the shipping is so much stronger around the bottom. And then you got these fucking, pardon me, what we call the ships of death, which is presume those are the Russian crude carriers. So you've got those 300-metre crude carriers coming along. They're not on AIS, and they're steaming along. They won't get you on VHF. Go through there, 35, 40 knots, blah, 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 blah. Get around Cape of Gaulis, get around there, get around Cape of Good Hope. Get into Cape Town, amazing.
Yep.
There's a swing bridge that opens up, and then there's the split bridge that opens up. You get there, you park your boat, and then you go to lunch. So we went to lunch with 8 boats. We were sort of 8 boats that we left Durban with, and some went south, some went north, but we all sort of ended up within an hour and a half, 2 hours of going in there. We had this most amazing lunch afterwards because it was, it was a little bit choppy, sort of, 3s, 3+, 4s plus, and lots of, storms coming through. But, it was a lot of fun. There, that's good. So that South Whakarava, I reckon that is the spot in the world.
I love the name.
South Whakarava in the Tuamotu Islands. It is honestly the most beautiful joint in the world. I mean, you've got palm-lined island, white beaches. You can bring out all your wing toys. Go your kite surfing, kite sailing, wing foiling, blah 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 blah. And then you've got the most probably the best dive site in the world, the South Whakarava Passage. You go through there, it's chock-a-block full of sharks and 400 or 500 sharks just hanging around doing this. Big coral trout. I mean, you're from South Australia, you wouldn't know coral trout. Bicey, where are you from, mate? Sorry.
BP or me?
BP, where are you from?
Oh, mate, I'm from Adelaide, but no, I'm here. Yeah, I've just got a bit of delay. I'm from Adelaide, but I do know coral trout. It's okay. I've done a lot of cruising, mate.
Yeah. So, I mean, the coral trout, because they have cicotosa, they don't. You can't grab them, so they're enormous. So, I don't know. It's a fantastic spot. South Whakarava and Cocos-Keeling Islands.
Yeah, right.
Same.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely amazing.
That's interesting. I've got the Cocos-Keeling, so they're off the west of Western Australia. They're up I guess in the Indian Ocean, really. Heading.
Yeah.
But they're
no, I don't know. Closer to Jakarta than Perth is.
Yeah.
So closest thing.
Yeah. And they're obviously beautiful. I can actually tell you quite a bit of the history of the Cocos-Keelings because I won't get distracted. But they're associated with Australia. They're part of Australia. these days. And they had a UN election back in the 80s, I think, and my father ran the election for the United Nations. So he spent quite a bit of time on the Cocos Keelings, and was flying in and showing me all the photos. It's an amazing place, amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely sensational. I mean, the colours of Cocos Keeling, you look out and you've got like 5 colours of the ocean. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. It must be something quite incredible to do this journey, right? Like you're doing something that very few people, I mean, more and more people are doing it now, but you are having life and a life adventure. You know, do you sort of look at that and just go, oh, it sounds like you have, you know, let's be honest, but as a couple, you're doing this amazing thing and getting to see stuff that so few people will see. You know, most people unfortunately live a life where they don't get this opportunity, and it must be amazing, just so exciting.
No, listen, I think there's a whole thing with it, you know, because you end up with like, you know, friends amongst friends through here, but you know, going through the Marquesas Islands, right? Marquesas Islands, the most least visited tourism spot in the world.
Mm.
We had a event there, you know, it's like a dinner there, event, and you know, they were dancing, and then they started singing, and the singing and the dancing became translated. It's just the culture that these guys have is just so deep centered. It's just it's amazing. I mean, and you wouldn't sort of think about that to start off with. You go, oh, the culture's amazing, but the culture actually is really amazing.
Wow.
You know, and you know, sort of going through
to the sense it's actually infectious. It's infectious and something that you actually experience and take on board and want to bring home.
Oh no, I'll take that through my death. You know, it is. I take my hats off to those people. I mean, they've had a bit of a rough trot, but they are amazing people, and they're so welcoming and stuff like that. I mean, like, yeah, because you sail like, you know, it's like 3,500 miles to get there. I mean, it's not short to get there, and you know, they're just like an amazing people. So you know, how good's that? We had this priest. We were looking for some fruit, and I pinched a lychee off his tree, and he sort of came down and go, "Oh, fucking sorry, Father." He goes, "Oh, no worries. I'm leaving. I've got a heap of fruit. I see you all in here. Do you want some?" And he gives us like 60 kilos of fruit to hand out to the fleet. It's like I was like, most amazing fruit in the world. So anyway, there you go.
It's
not
just
sure what I got.
Bloody awesome.
No, it's just all good, you know. The whole thing. I mean,
What? So
anyway,
you've had what you've given us is the emotion, you know, like you've talked about locations, but you've given us the emotion and all the different things, which is what the reward is, you know. And the other thing that I've picked up from it is that the actual journey itself is rewarding, you know, that being on the boat in the middle of the ocean is bloody enjoyable. You get into it and you're enjoying it, and you know, because you can do weather routing, you don't have to put yourself in dangerous spots. So that's the other thing that's come through. So one of the next question then becomes, you're coming to the end of the rally, like you're coming into the Caribbean now, like I'm assuming. So what happens now? Do you take the boat back to Australia? Do you sell the boat? Do you go for another lap?
Oh, geez, that's the question. That's the question. I think I think you know, we'll go back to Europe. We'll take the boat back to Cascais, and then bounce back into the Med.
Yep.
And most probably Sicily, and then you know, get the boat back to Barcelona and see where we go from there.
Right.
You know, it's but I don't know. I've fallen in love with the boat. You know.
Yep.
I've totally fallen in love with the boat, and I've actually fallen in love with the lifestyle as well.
Yep.
So, 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 so there's only one other person that I've got to sort of talk to make that work.
Well,
she's amazing. So,
yeah. What about the business element? Like you're chairman of a business, you can do all your work from the yacht.
Oh, listen, I'm absolutely gifted by having so many amazing people around me. And that's that's the thing over life. I've got amazing people around me doing things, and you can get involved because you're on the phone 24/7 now. With this whole Starlink thing, and that's the big game changer. And whether I'm in Perth, I always told everybody it's my long COVID. Because we're in Perth. Well, we were sort of locked up in West Australia for so long. So I was like, oh, what have you got? Oh, I've got long COVID. Yeah. I'm not going to be traveling to you anymore. I'm just going to be doing it over Zoom. So I sort of think that's credible.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I'm not sure whether everybody thinks that, but I think that's a very credible way of going through life.
Better than getting on the airplane.
I like it. I think it's the way forward.
Yeah, no, exactly. The kerosene canary does become tiresome.
Yeah. It's just a much better life. In fact, I have raised this with my boss. I said, is there any reason why I have to come into an office? Can't I just do this from a boat in the middle of the ocean? Like if I'm 100% contactable, why do I need to be in an office? I don't understand it. So anyway.
I'm not sure this episode's good for you, Jay.
It's good for the soul. The imagination's having a good time. Is all I'll say.
I say that tongue in cheek. I think you're taking all of this on board at a massive rate.
I think Scott. I do have to say to Scott, like you're a racer your whole life, right? And when you're a racer, you sit there and you're like, I know when I'm in bed or when I'm sitting around on the couch or something, I'm running through, like I'm trying to work out rig ideas and how to make things better. And like you spent your whole life doing that. Yeah. And then at some stage you start thinking about cruising and you no longer think about that stuff. You're looking at boats and you're thinking about routing and, you're trying to work on your navigation. You suddenly, all you think about is cruising. It's bizarre.
I'll tell you what, it's interesting. So Mike Golding picked up a trimmer out of New Zealand, and he sort of like popped along the trip and got to have a few good chats with him and lunches and dinners and in Cape Town. And he's an absolutely ripping guy, and he's done a bit of sailing.
Yeah,
and he did this speech because he's trying to do this science thing off the back of his boat. I forget the name of it. I should tell you, but his opening thing is, I've got to learn how to cruise.
Yeah,
and it is a totally different style of sailing. Because you want to set everybody up for success for their watch.
Yeah.
So exactly. You got to make the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be enjoyable for everybody. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's a different kettle of fish, but it's so much fun. It is so much fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
The whole thing. The stuff you see along the way. We saw that starship. I don't know, fall apart in. We were coming on the back end of Mauritius.
Yes,
and it just. This amazing sort of thing going across the sky and stuff like that. And there's so many bits and pieces along the way, but the sailing around the world is amazing. But the Oyster World Rally, camaraderie, that's the thing. Doing it with people, because it's the village.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it seems to be the key point there, Jay.
It's fantastic. I'm so glad we had this conversation, Scott. I think we're very jealous of you, obviously, and we're kind of spewing you didn't invite us along at some stage on the rally. So obviously, there's probably 100 million of your friends that are in the same boat, though. So I fully accept that. Man, we're jealous, and I feel like you've given me some motivation it's good. I think we'll be doing bar karate from the middle of the ocean soon.
Well, as I said, Jay, we're going pro.
All right, Scott. Well, I think we're going to leave you there, buddy. It's been a wonderful chat, and I really appreciate you taking the time when you're in the middle of the ocean sailing along, and just sharing the joy that you've had, mate.
Oh, mate, it's been we've had such a great time, and thank you so much, guys. Hopefully some people can get some bits and pieces. Flex put up this thing, this Instagram thing, JaZoFi, Oyster 595. So check out what we're doing. I mean, like there's a whole bunch of stuff, but this is an amazing thing that you can do in your life. If you can find the time. I wouldn't disregard it for anything.
Very cool. All right, mate. Love it. You're a good man.
Cheers. All good. Thank you, fellas.
Good on you, Scotty. Stay safe. We say it a lot on bar karate, living the dream, and just that is an example of living the dream. Jordan, I can see you're frothing.
Did that come across, BP?
It was more of an edge. Bicey, you've joined us. I know you're busy.
I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Great to have you. But I got to tell you, Bicey, Jordan it was like he was at school. It was like he was sitting in the front row, putting his hand up, going, sir, please, sir, what did you do at this point? What do I do?
Has Jordan not brought you cruising boat yet, Jordan?
No, I'm inspired, though.
But it's happening.
Oh,
it's happening.
I don't know how I'm going to get the money, but I'm willing to sell somebody's body parts, to get the money. But yeah, what a great life like that you're living as well. He did mention the bloody Instagram site. So JaZoFi
Instagram site. How are we going?
Yeah. It's JaZoFi, is JaZoFi, Oyster 595, just in case you're wondering. But yeah.
JaZoFi. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, super jealous.
Good.
Super jealous. So, do you reckon they're running the Radix Nutrition on board for that program, or they're running luxury?
Mate, they're running roast legs of lamb, red wine, and rum,
and the Radix peri peri as a side.
Yeah. That's maybe the starter.
Yeah,
I would suggest
a little bit of Indian curry and some fresh lamb rack.
I love it. I love it. Well, I mean, if you want to
do that, you can do that. You can get yourself a little bit of a lamb rack or a bit of chicken and have a little bit of peri peri on the side, because it does have those dishes. Yeah.
It's a great solution. So to make sure you've meet all your nutrition needs, just jump onto Radix Nutrition. Use bar karate, one word, as your discount code. Get a discount on us, and enjoy some fabulous food. So, where are you in? Are we going to focus? Yeah, we'll focus on you, Bice.
It's good to have you back, Bicey.
Yeah.
We missed you,
it's good.
Obviously.
No, I apologise. Speaking of living the best life, as you were talking about with Scott, but currently in St. Bart's.
Yeah.
And the listeners can't see this, but you can see me wearing this quite outrageous shirt.
I love it.
It's the I'm cool. The I'm cool.
You're
man
wearing
shirt.
it well. Very cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, this is a complete lesson for being a smart ass fuckaroonie.
Smart ass fuckaroonie.
A couple of weeks
ago,
ago,
only a few listeners will know what that means.
Can you see what I'm wearing?
A few weeks ago in Antigua, with now my favourite sailing team, the final. John Desmond, owner of, he goes to the little boutique store with his wife Sarah, lovely lady, and he buys this very cool shirt with pink flamingos or something on it. And here I am. Fuck, I'm going in. I'm getting something as well. And I'm like, I see that shirt. I'm gonna have to get that.
Yeah.
Walk up to the counter. Oh, that's $279 sir.
That's a big hit.
At current wear rate, I'm at about €90 per wear at this point in time.
Wow.
90 US per wear at this point in time. But this will fit in places like Saint-Tropez,
Oh, it will.
Definitely next week we're in the BVIs. There's quite a few parties that are known as Caribbean chic.
You could do.
It's going to be, by the end of this tour, I'll be down to at least $1 a wear for sure.
We got Mardi Gras as well.
Well, give them my links with the rainbow.
Well, that's right. That's right. And how algorithms roll, you could get some photos up on the net.
Yeah. No, currently in St. Bart's at the Bucket. Mate, I was here last year. Just seems bigger.
Yeah.
Boats are getting bigger now.
It is big.
It is super cool place. It's almost a privilege. Off air, Jordan, we were talking, I was kind of like almost a bit embarrassed that we're here able to experience what's going on.
Yeah.
But today, and very unusual for this area, zero wind at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Weird.
minimal trades. And that's going to continue for a few more days yet. So very light air regatta. But to see all the big gear out there was awesome. Like the likes of Black Pearl, for example.
Yep.
Like with the Dyna rigs rolling. You've got the Adela, you've got the Hyperion, you've like all these awesome boats. And then you've got a couple of race boats in V and Galatea, which is cool to be part of.
It is. So
sounds like fun.
Yep, St. Bart's Bucket. So it's this weekend, basically, 13 to 16 March in St. Bart's in the Caribbean. And St. Bart's is one of those places that's that full iconic look, where it's got all those sort of colonial style houses and the red roofs, and it really takes you on that, what your imagination is. I think they must shoot half the James Bond.
I think the Villa Wee in the roof could be gold leaf, to tell the honest truth. And here's a little, and this is a day one error by myself. Sending the link to the villa we're staying in to my wife.
Oh.
Don't be doing that.
Oh, dear, she's jealous now. You're going to have to take her on holiday, aren't you? Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
Well,
it's pretty flash.
If she wants to go on holiday to that region, of course, Antigua Sailing Week is coming up in a month's time, so 26 April to the 2nd of May. So just there you go, boss. You could take it back, or are you already back there for that one?
No, Negatore. I might try and make my way home at some point in time.
Yeah, okay. The other one,
I can relate to that, Bicey. Never easy, is it?
Yeah. We live an amazing life. The other one that, speaking of amazing life, the one we do want to mention is at Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club on beautiful Pittwater. They're going to be hosting the Hansa.
I saw the email come through.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yes.
From the Burgess family. Yep. The Hansa World Championships are going to be on this month. It's all about sailing inclusivity now, that sailing is not part of the Paralympics. We estimate 50% of sailors will be disabled in some way and can compete equally with able-bodied sailors. I'm leading a team to help crane the sailors to and from their boats, which should give our volunteers an amazing insight to the tenacity, skills and how the sailors must adapt their life to do many things we take for granted. You can contact the Commodore, Rob McClellan, for further comment or perhaps an interview. There you go. I read the bit that was not to go to air, but that's all right. So Phil Burgess has sent us that information. So thanks, Phil. We'll follow up on that. But the Hansa Worlds, jump onto that. So we do love the whole inclusivity part. We do want to promote sailing for everyone, and we just want to share.
We also love it when you contact us and tell us about your regattas.
Yeah. That's a good one. All right. Moving on, boys, we will go to the Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week, brought to us by our friends at Vycobi. Boys, you're talking about your shirt.
Well, but first, before you go on, Jordan Spencer, just hold that thought. I was managed to have a good chat to our old mate Bill O'Hara.
Yes.
Who's here doing some umpiring. And we just lashed out a few old Jack stories.
Oh, nice.
So for those who were wondering, Jack lives on. The stories are epic. He was a wonderful human being. And, we all adored him. So honor to be doing this and calling the Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week. And over to you, Jordan Spencer. You are wearing the Vycobi sun shirt.
I am. I've got the whole outfit on, so you can actually see what it's like. And so Vicobi,
Fantastic.
our friends at Vicobi, providing that. I make it look bad. I'll be honest. I'm not a good-looking bloke. But
Well, this is the time when we say, Pat, good choice on your.
look at this.
Pat.
BP.
There he is.
He's kidding himself out. There you go. He's in the blue. He's in the blue. He's
Yeah.
in
Fantastic.
the aqua.
I wonder how many we've sold. I don't know.
17.
Oh, I think we've got more than 17. I think we did 17 day one, mate. But yeah.
How many did your mum buy?
Tell you
BP?
what, it's the first time I put it on.
They're good. They're
Yeah, nice.
good out in the sun, mate.
Oh.
It's a perfect thing. You're one of the cool kids because everyone's, that's the cool thing now. You put your hat on and you hood over the top, and that's what all the boat park looks like. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I did say,
They're nice.
our mates at
Hey, listen,
Vicobi,
they are nice. I got to tell you.
very nice. They are. The material's insane. Our mates at Vicobi have got their new. They did a whole bunch of new bags out this week. They're two new duffel bags they brought out. They're very cool, waterproof. You can
Good
carry
gear.
them as a normal beer or on your back. Very cool. I was looking at them. They do some clever stuff. They're quite clever, that little company.
That little outfit.
Right. Should we talk
You
about
look good.
our listeners this week? We got a couple of good emails coming in, and I guess I should pull
Oh,
them
you
up.
got it. You got to mention the boat names.
Oh, it's a Dara McDonough. That's you like that one?
Go
Uh,
on, do it.
I do. I have noticed. I don't know if you boys have ever noticed this, but I have an affinity. Like when you're having a chat to someone, if they're from a different part of the world, have you ever noticed there's certain countries that you just hit it off with? Like for me, it's the Yarpies. Like a South African and me, for some reason, seem to get on like a house on fire. I just love hanging out with the Yarpies. But the Irish as well. God, when I'm talking the Irish, I'm just feeling very happy. I don't know why. It's just I have a very relaxed, enjoyable time.
Probably something to do with the Guinness and all the
and the red
leprechauns
hair.
that are around you, and the affinity to the red hair.
Yeah, it's all ging. It's all ging.
You're
related.
actually like a god in Ireland.
Yeah, I
should
think
be.
you are. I think you.
They should make a statue of you.
Hey,
Jordan.
Bitey, it's no longer St. Patrick's Day. It's
St. Jordan Day.
St. Jordan's Day.
Yeah, St. Jordan's Day is the day after when the hangover's hitting you and the pain kicks in. Oh, dear. All right.
Jordan Fitzpatrick and Patrick Fitzjordan.
Patrick Fitzjordan, that's him.
So our mate Dara McDonough from Ireland sent us some love the pod. I know you lads love a good boat name, so I thought I'd share a few of mine. I started sailing down in Courtown, launching off the beach in the sunny southeast of Ireland. My first boat was a laser named Pooh. After that came a laser 2, and you guessed it, Pooh 2, followed by a fireball called Pooh the Turd. I even had a team racing group called Team Pooh.
Pooh the Turd.
Pooh the
Turd.
Second at the Nationals. I then moved into
I'm
bigger
sorry,
boats.
this one's winning. We don't need to go past.
Oh, we had a good one the other
cracker.
week. It's going to be, that's right, we need to get this out. We haven't debated it. But I then moved into bigger boats, which were when we were given a Mum 36 called Jabberwocky to race around the Cairns for a season, but we quickly renamed it to IRC Fuck My Mum. I'm currently sailing a Hunter F1 that was originally called Blitz, but after some disagreement with the rocks, the stern having to be reattached, it was renamed Bits instead of Blitz. I loved it. Hey? Hey?
Yeah.
Crack.
Bravo.
Bravo,
IRC
Dara.
fucked my mum. Imagine getting on the radio in a long distance race. You're doing the Sydney Hobart. Race control. Here is IRC fucked my mum. IRC fucked my mum. IRC fucked my mum.
Phonetically, that's Indigo Romeo Charlie.
Foxtrot uniform. Charlie
Foxtrot uniform.
Echo Delta.
Charlie Kilo.
Stop it, you two. I'm never going to get this air to
Oh,
episode
God,
to
we're
air. Righto. Continuing on. John Spencer, New Zealand wing.
Is this a joke? John Spencer?
Yeah, you remember John from 2 weeks ago? No, this is the real
Yeah.
John Spencer.
John.
Just a quick note about a group of young adults, 15 to 17 years of age, that recently represented Australia at their local clubs in New Zealand. The group had a great time, met some legends, including Barbara Kendall, and achieved awesome results at a very competitive level. So this is the New Zealand Wing Foil Championships. Particularly proud of the girls that took out the top 3 female spots in the silver fleet. And there was a whole bunch of shared results. I do want to highlight that in the gold fleet, Banjo Nicholson, 4th, overall second youth, under 19.
Episode 100 from memory.
Banjo.
Father.
Yeah.
Chris Nicholson.
Connor Radford.
Love that name.
Yep.
Love that name.
Henry Mars in 8th. In the silver fleet, Lake and Eaton, 8th in the men, overall 4th youth. Ava Spencer, 11th overall, first female overall and first female youth. Layla Opanubi. Awesome. What a great name. 20th overall, second female, second youth. Addison Newland, 21st overall, third female, third youth. And Emma Webb, 39th overall, fourth female youth. Wow. What a good team.
Awesome.
Yeah, good on them. Thanks for sharing that.
Vibes. Yeah.
Very cool. Cool. Right. So all that is very good. So Dara's email is looking good. We did have another good one the other week. We'll announce the listener.
I think we just need to debate it. We'll maybe announce it next week.
Yeah. I think we need to debate it. All right. Very cool.
It's hot time with Bice.
I didn't bring my tracksuit pants that rip down the side. And buggered if I'm gonna rip the buttons off this shirt. They cost me
$90 a day. You'd be bloody. They're pretty expensive buttons.
Actually, this is hot top. Well, the topic has to be the JJs, right?
Oh yeah.
At the moment, yes.
And I've got to say, which is super cool, living with 10 of my best mates here as part of the Galatea team in our little villa. It's quite a small one. Every morning, up and at 'em, JJs. We watch the highlights from the day before, and they're doing good cuts. Let's put it. The media team are doing a really good job and kind of getting you involved and getting to know the characters and getting to know the individuals and all those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
Fucked if I know what the results are, but
I can fix that.
You can fix that one. But good viewing on the tube.
Great viewing.
Bloody good. So
JJ, so by the time this goes to air,
you are mentioning how good the viewing is, boys. I just sent you a couple of photos of day one.
Oh, yes.
And the bottom mark, it said there was a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
If you remember that, if you go back to it, there's a couple of photos there, and that's us there coming in on starboard jibe, coming into our bottom mark, and the 18 race division decided to put their bottom mark where our bottom mark was.
On the Nina, the mighty Nina.
Wow.
Yeah, on the Nina.
You might have to share that for the listeners so they get that on by Sunday. But
we will share it, but I can tell you what, it was fun.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
But JJ's, where are we at the moment?
Awesome.
Probably close to the end.
Well, as this goes to air, it'll be the last day for the JJs. So we're recording early Saturday morning Australia time, just to clarify that. So at the moment, Yandu with Tom Needon, Fang Warren and Lewis Brake are leading. They've had first, 9, 12.8 with a penalty, and then first. When it was really light wind, they were struggling, but as soon as they're up and legs are straight, they are sailing that boat beautifully. And about
5 degrees higher, same speed.
Yes,
they are absolutely cracking. But hot on their heels. Our mate Keegan York is hot on the heels on Finport. He's 2 points off the pace.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's
tell you
2 drops in this regatta too, by the way. It stays pretty close with 2 drops, but go on.
Yeah, I can tell you, looking out the window, she's fluffy and stinking hot.
Today. No wind.
Hot.
So we have got ourselves a really interesting afternoon, boys.
Variable in there. I do want to say, obviously the Yandu, Fang and Lewis have been sailing that boat for a long time, right? And then Tom's jumping on. Now, Tom is a 49er guy and part of the Australian sailing team. The the way he is driving that boat, the rig development that's done on that boat is brilliant. I reckon their rig is just really nice, particularly that main jib combination. They've really got that well sorted. I've been watching it for about a year and a half, and I reckon they've really got it sorted. But the way Tom is steering that boat, the accuracy of the steering that he is doing on that boat upwind and coming out of the line is just brilliant. The rig is so stable. So it's got everything combined, and they're just giving lots of confidence. Then the third place boat's Rag and Famish. So Harry Price, Max Paul, Finn Rodowitz. So there's a lot of reverse curse sitting on that boat. So they've got to keep their eye out for them, but I think they're too deep now. But they're the top three as we go into the last couple of races. So there's racing today and tomorrow. And she's been good. It's been good. And hey, how good are the Euros? The Kiwis are in fourth. Yep. So we talked about
the
Eli
Germans are having a good one.
Yeah.
The Germans, the dark horse. Yep.
Kiwis in fourth and fifth. And then the
may have an in to get them on the show. So I'm working hard on that at the moment.
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea.
Love it.
Feed us in.
Love it. Cool. You keep working on those things. But yeah, 18s, it's been good. The JJs, loving it.
So the other one, boys, and probably not so dissimilar, is the Sail GP. LA this week.
LA this week.
This weekend as we speak. At time of probably publishing, it wouldn't have been the final yet due to
we'll only
location.
Just be kicking off. Yeah.
Not sure if you've seen anything going on, Jordan Spencer. I'd seen a few things. The French team have got a new investor, being a very the names escape me right for now, but quite a famous football player, and he's got his charity.
Is that what
involved.
He is? So I had zero idea what he was, but
this is huge for the sport. Sports people investing in the sports teams, which is awesome.
Absolutely, love that.
I don't know who our favourites are here going in, but it's being sailed inside the breakwater in Long Beach.
Okay,
from what I understand.
Yeah,
notoriously very light in that particular area. But let's see how this week pans out. But rumour has it, instead of pulling all the boats apart, they're going to deliver them to San Diego.
San Francisco.
That's dicey. That sounds all too familiar.
Delivery crew set up.
Yeah.
They're taking a whole bunch of raddicks with them. You're going to sail them up the coast. Jordan, any truth in that?
We've been there.
I don't know about that. I can find out, but I can tell you that it's Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe?
Yeah.
Is
Mbappe.
the new investor.
Mbappe, yeah.
And
Mbappe.
The other rumour I've heard is, and I'm pretty certain it's right, is that Will Ryan's going to be sailing on the Danish team.
Yes, on the Danish team in replacing the male model from
Tommy.
Mandra.
Yeah. One Aussie out,
I believe, out due to having a child or something.
Yes.
Priorities.
Oh, he's a good man. He's a good man, Tommy boy. He's a good man.
He's good looking. He's a bloody good looker.
He's a good looker. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Sammy Newton's video during the week showing his training regime? Did you see that, boys? Shared it on the gram. So he's going through his training program and he's doing all this work in the gym, and it's in his garage, and right next to it's a little mini, and everyone's just going. No one's mentioning the training routine. Like, how the hell are you fitting that car, Sam?
That must be Elizabeth's car.
I'd say
definitely
so.
Not his.
But anyway, so that was all cool. But yeah, so this weekend in LA, then next weekend San Fran. Be good. And obviously, I'm out of leave, so I can't do any more Sail GP this year. So I'm not any insider stuff anymore. But otherwise, I would have been there. But
are you still on the chats?
Yeah.
Did you get wiped off the chats? No. Oh yeah, so you can keep filling us in with the rumours.
Yeah, I got all that
speculation.
Yeah, as soon as they hear I say something too far, which I normally do, they'll cut me off, but that's right. I'm in the good books at the moment, is all I'll say. That they do like me at the moment, so that's good.
Unusual.
Yeah. No one ever, the first person ever. It's been awesome. Righto. What else?
To tell you the honest truth,
don't abuse it. Don't abuse it, John.
current location situation. I haven't really been up to date on any other topics.
I'll step up on one thing for you, boys. The IQ Foil International Games, the second one of the year, has been pretty much run and won. And holy hell, did they have some conditions. It's been full bore.
They did. I saw a bit of this myself.
Yeah. Did you see the overall result? BP?
Negative. Didn't see.
Okay, well, I'll run through the
I haven't
score.
seen the but I know Gray was going okay.
He had a third, a first, an eighth, a first, a black flag, a first in the final, first. He smoked it.
So he went pretty well.
Yeah, he's going good, and it was rough.
Coach's delight.
Coaches go, this is getting easier and easier. I've got a lot of painting to do here on that fence. But yeah, so congratulations, Gray, for the win. Max Castellin, I think, from the Netherlands into second, and Finn Hawkins in third in the men. And in the women, I think it was a young Israeli lass from Israel. So Tamar Steinberg and Sharon Cantor were the top through. And then Emma Wilson, our beloved friend Emma Wilson, ended up coming third. So going into the final a little deep. So the Israelis came in strong. But that's been pretty full bore. So that was quite interesting. And the other one I think that we probably have to mention is that the major start for the Melbourne Osaka is today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's most of the boats go today.
And then there's a bit of a staggered start now for the different competitors, right?
Going on Sunday, the 17th, so staggered start for the competitors. So we've had 2 weekends of starts, and then this weekend, this Sunday, when this goes to air, hopefully it'll be on air to remind you beforehand, most of the competitors are starting, and they will, actually probably won't be on air because they're going 11:25 is the start. But yeah, if you... it's underway. So if you're on the east coast of Australia, look out and you'll see it. And then we've got a gap of 2 weeks before a live goes. So Duncan Hine and Glenn Myler can get that 66-footer up there. They'll be smoking in that thing. I reckon they might be a little exhausted by the end of it. What do you guys think?
Yep, I'll be thinking they'll be pretty damn tired.
Cool.
Nah. Autopilot. Whack a slab in. Slab on.
There you go.
Crank that keel to windward.
Slab on.
Couple of bachelor's handbags, a few dirty chooks to eat along the way.
They're away.
They'll be in Japan in no time.
That's a good
couple
one.
Of lamb chops. Couple of lamb chops in the pocket. Off you go.
Oh dear, so much happiness and joy. All right, boys. I think that's us, isn't it? That's it for the show for this week.
Oh, that's it. Sorry, I
Absolutely
missed the interview, boys. Things got a little bit hectic, let's say. But Scott, love what you're doing out there.
Yeah.
And I'll look forward to interviewing Jordan Spencer when he starts his trip around the world.
Well, as you said, we're going to be doing it from live from the boat.
Right.
I'll be able to do it because I'll be in one place. You'll be able to rely on me. I'll be on my boat. But yeah, anyway, good one. Thanks again, Scott. Thanks for joining us, boys. Thanks for taking time out from your Super Yacht Cup there, boys. Good luck for the rest of the weekend. BP, have fun sailing tomorrow.
Yes.
Jump onto Radix Nutrition. Discount on us. Use the Bar Karate as your discount code. Thanks to our friends at Bykobe. Thanks to you, the
You
listener.
look good, by the way, Jordan Spencer.
Yep.
Your sun shirt.
Go to Bykobe to buy one. All right.
Love it.
Tell you what, take it from me. That material's awesome.
Cheers at barkarate.com.
Have you made your set of undies yet? Adios.
They would be good for undies, I tell you. See you later.
Where do you put the logo? Mine's a G-string. It's just that little top, the little triangle at the back.